everybody, this is Tambia and I'm back with another Transforming Robot video review. This time I have Machine Robo's Eagle Robo. This is from the Machine Robo series, also known as Gobots here in America. But since Hasbro has all the rights to the Gobots names, they went ahead and went with the Japanese name. So this is Eagle Robot. He is also known as Leader 1. And these are actually official Masterpiece grade Gobots. So here you can see the box. You can see Eagle Robo here in robot mode, and then some grade or kind of pixelated versions of him in both of his other modes. And then you have some pictures here, him and robot and vehicle, and then vehicle and robot back here. You know, we'll go with that. And then that's the top of the box and the bottom of the box. This box is a little bit bigger than the other two already released. Main thing I do like about these guys is that they come with stands. So we'll go ahead and bring this guy open and pull out. And as you can see, the main reason that he's a little bit larger than the other robots are because of his tail fins. So you have the fins up here, and then you have the fins down here, and that makes him a little bit, it gives him a little bit more of a profile. So here are his instructions, and they're like just like the normal instructions. They are colored instructions, and what needs to be moved is actually red. So this one actually has both sides. And as you can see, this are the two different stand configurations. You actually don't get enough pieces to build this top part right here. You only get 4 of these trusses. Oh, that's what they were using those for. Okay. So you only get 4 of the trusses, and I'll show that out. I just noticed something, so I'll show that off in this video. And then he comes with the tips and such. I'll show you a little bit more on that whenever it comes around. There's 5 tips, so it states that you need to pay attention and tab in on the joint right here. I'll show you that. And then there's it says the upper body can be moved forward and back. So I haven't really messed with that. I'll show you an alternate transformation. And then this right here, it shows that it can basically move back onto the back, how to position his head when you're transforming him, and that you should start on the front part of the jet and then work onto the back or onto the bottom piece. So you would go the upper part of the body and then the feet when transforming him. Alright, so what I noticed with the stands just now that I didn't notice with my previous video was that when you take these and put these together, and then you take these right here, you don't have enough of them, already said, but let's just say, come on, give me the right ones here. So this tabs into here, and then these tab like that. Like that, so it tabs into there, tab it into there and onto the sides. Alright, so this right here, these pieces, they actually took and tabbed them in like this. And then they had another set that went up and tabbed in also, and it was kind of like a working scaffolding or something like that. So you'd put the figure in there, and it was like it was being worked on. Or with the other configuration, they use the other configuration with the stand pieces and use these as the stands. So you could still take this and essentially go like this, and then take one of these, connect it into here, and then take another one of these and connect it into here, and you could still have your stands like that. And I'll show that off to you in just a little bit. Alright, so let's get the figure out here. And his weapon. And then this is his bit for connecting to the stand. Alright, so I guess before I go into this, I want to go ahead and warn you that this guy has some sharp edges, so be careful. And I ended up having to do a little bit of modding on his legs. I don't know if they're going to hold up or not, but I'll go into that in just a little bit whenever I go back to his robot mode. So we'll go ahead and go into transformation. Here's his weapon, and I'll go back. You can hold it like that. Oh, that taps into there, huh? Okay, cool. Didn't notice that before. I never had him hold the gun. All right, so for transformation, to transform him into his jet. All right, so first thing we want to do is the arms. We need to transform the arms. And what you want to do is you want to take this portion right here, you want to rotate it down like that, and it'll clip into place. Whenever you get it into a place where it needs to go, it'll kind of clip. So this will go down, you hear it clip. You want to twist this arm like this, because you see that there's a little tab right there. I don't know if you can see it right there. You take this panel, flip it up, and then you want to flip under the hand. Make sure it doesn't twist because it goes underneath there a certain way, like that. This pushes together, and then you take this, and there's the tab right here, and then there's the hole right here, and that tabs in like that. That's going to come apart, but I'll show you something else in just a little bit. And see, it says that this chest comes forward, but I've never been able to make it do it. So I'll show you something else in just a moment when we get to that portion. Alright, so we want to do this for the other arm. Rotate that down. Push this together. Actually, first what we don't want to do is rotate it. Rotate it the correct way first, then push it together. Then rotate that panel out, flip the hand under, and then we'll just go ahead and clip this into here for right now. Alright, so we want to take the head, flip it forward like that so that it's right there. And then this panel on the back, this whole gray section right here will actually come out. There's a ridge that tabs into here, or kind of goes into this chest piece, and then there's tabs, and when you flip that up, there's that tab that goes into this portion that holds the shoulder together. So now, and I'll show you a little bit better here. So you flip that up, see the tab right there, and it clips in, or tabs into the shoulder right there. And then you pull this back, and you see how that then comes off of there. And we'll just leave this like this for right now. So now what we do is we have to take and basically rotate this up, and you see how the shoulder assembly goes up. Well, there's a channel in here, and you see how that kind of goes out a little bit. You kind of have to go like that, and it usually comes apart for me, this part right here. So you just go ahead and push it into there, get this port situated and tabbed in, and then once you do that, then work on the bottom part of the arm. So tab that in, and then you tab, this will actually tab into the chest right here. This one right here I consider as the hardest to transform so far. I know that there's 3 other coming out at some point. I've seen prototypes of them, but I have no idea how hard they will be to transform. So that goes there, and you tab that back into there, and this comes up, clips into there, and there we have the top portion of the jet. So not quite done yet. So we take this head, rotate it around like that, and then this, all this will switch places with this. So you have the top portion, the cockpit of the jet. That thing goes around the head, and it's kind of snug, so you can kind of force it in there. It's not going to do anything. You get it right there, and then push it up. It doesn't really stay in place. It can come back down a little bit, so just be careful with it. And then this right here, it will, this piece locks into here, this piece locks into here, and then these will just kind of tab, and then you can see that the waist, there's some notches, so that those go into the notches to keep the waist from swiveling. And then there's, as you can see, the top portion of the jet. So they say work on the top portion and then the bottom portion. So you tab the legs together, flip the wings, this portion of the wing straight. Don't do anything with this just yet. You can flip these out if you want to. These will collapse in and make the thrusters. And so this is the portion that I modified because where it screws in right here into here, the post that goes into the leg is longer than the actual hole. The hole isn't drilled all the way through, it's only partially gone through. So I had to end up filing part of that off, so that then whenever you flipped this forward, you see that there's a ridge, and then there's another ridge right here, and that locks it together so that then you have a knee joint, and this knee joint is tight. So if you don't have that, then it'll actually make it rotate here. So that's why I did that. But it's going to have 2 portions, and since I've done that, I haven't transformed it completely. So we'll see how hard it is to undo once it's complete. Okay, that's pushed in, tabbed in, flipped up, and those tab into the side also. And see, and I said that comes apart a little bit. So you just push it back into there, and then you have the jet. And this stuff is hidden very well. Like all the arms and legs and such, there's not a lot of stuff hanging off of these. A lot of Transformers and such, they have a lot of kibble that hangs off, and with these figures being so small, they did a very good job at hiding kibble. So the gun can actually, it has wheels, it has landing gear also. Let me bring those out. So you have your weapon, and the weapon actually attaches. So you undo this, and I'll show you how to put it together later on. And then you undo this. So these pieces actually tab into the side of the jet. So the handle, which kind of comes in half, you can see a crescent shape right here, and that's where this tabs in or pushes in. And then there's a tab here, in the back, push it in all the way. There we go. And then we do it for this side also. And this one is far more secure than this one. And then we take these missiles and tab them in under the wings. And I do like this jet mode. Like I said, a lot of the kibble is hidden. Especially with a lot of smaller sized jets, you lose that ability to hide that kibble, but they did really good on the engineering. So if you want to actually add the flight stand to it, you can. You can take this and tab this in here, the connector bit for the stand, and you can actually make it a flight stand for him. So you flip these in, and we'll take the stand. And it tabs in like that, and see, you have a flight stand. Alright, and so to transform him back, take this out. And we want to take all the weapons off. This one's a little bit harder. I know the first time I put it in there I had a hard time taking it back off again. You just have to be careful because you don't want to wedge and break off the handle in there. So you just want to be careful. And this one just comes out really easily. Alright, so once again we want to start with the legs. So we'll take the wings and we'll rotate these like this, and then disconnect and rotate this back around. There we go. It does lock in a lot better now that I've done that. These wings don't lock in the back, so I tend to take them and just go like that, so that the notch that holds in the what do you call it, the missile pods are actually off to the side right here, or you know, it's really up to you, because then it keeps this kind of level, or you can go and have it like this, but then it kind of comes off the edge. So you do that, you flip this back. Some of this stuff is kind of scares me a little bit, moving the wings around and such, but I think it's okay. I don't think you're going to have problems with it breaking. Alright, so we want to bring this down around the head. Like I said before, it's a little tight, so you can bring it around, but it's not going to get lodged in there or anything. It'll be alright. I didn't notice that before. Alright, so we want to untab these. Oops. Almost forgot about this. You want to untab this part first on the back. You can get your nail in there, that helps it. And that'll then unlock the waist, so the waist can swivel. it down. Come on. Okay. Alright, so now for the back panel portion, you got to get this around the cockpit again. So these, you see how there's the notches in the middle of this portion right here? These will notch into the shoulder portion, so that'll lock that into place, while you have to tab this into the shoulders. Okay, and then you pull the head back a little bit. Flip this up. Extend this hand right here. Bend that panel down. Rotate this. Extend this. Rotate this up like that. Same thing with this. Alright, so here we have Eagle Robo back in his robot mode. Alright, so to reassemble his gun, take these two missiles and attach them together. Then you will take at this side right here, so this is these become the barrels. Tab that on one side, and then tab this on the other side. And it becomes like a 5-barrel type of shotgun. So you can see that there's a tab right here, and then the handle. The tab will actually tab into the arm right there, so to keep it closed, so it's not going to fall apart while he's holding it. I want to show off this head because it has a clear visor on here. Mine actually has some extra silver paint on that clear visor, so I don't think that's supposed to be there, but it's accidentally there. So for real quickly for articulation, we have the head is on a ball joint, so you get all kinds of movement, and it is a skull shape, so it's you get a lot of movement out of it, a lot of movement. The shoulders are ball joints, so forward, back, a little bit out to the side. You have a secondary joint in there, a pin joint, that allows you to move it all the way up. Then you come here to the side, you have a kind of mushroom joint, or mushroom swivel. Then there's two shoulder pin joints, and then the hand is on a ball joint, the wrist. You come down here, you have a twist on the waist. You have ball joints for the legs, so you get all kinds of movement out of that. Twist right here under that, your knee joint, and then your feet, you have all kinds of stuff in here. You have a ball joint for the ankle, and then for the heels and toes you have joints in there for transformation, basically. Alright, so for his flight stand, to get him on there, you take this once again, and it goes back here. And you'll have to take, maybe lift this up, and this kind of like this. He's wedged in there. There we go. Alright, so there is his head, and there he is on his little stand. But he can, as you could see before, he could stand up without that, so he doesn't really need it. So really quickly, I'm going to do a size comparison because I think my son is waking up. So I'm going to have to go attend to him in just a little bit. Here's Bumblebee, once again, and here is Lamvor, or Silverstreak, Sideswipe. So you can see that they are that smaller size, still like probably a little bit taller than a deluxe size. And then we have MP10 Optimus Prime. So, you know, you can tell that there is a substantial size difference with these guys. Well, that's pretty much going to do it here for Eagle Robo. Don't forget to check out all my other videos. Like, subscribe, follow me on Twitter. This has been Tambiota, and I'll see you guys next time.